Hello, this is Neil and Gwen from the Relationship Paradigm, day 29 of Isolationship. And the topic for conversation today is it important to keep conversations flowing 24 hours a day during lockdown?
Interesting question, and it's a question that somebody actually asked us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are it's important to talk about the important stuff you need to talk about, particularly sharing feelings, as we talked about before.
Yeah.
But it's also really important to give each other space.
Yes.
And freedom from your voice or their voice to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And what your partner might want to just talk because they've got nothing better to do.
I think it's that difference between the sort of stream of consciousness that some of us live with, and respecting the fact that some of us like peace and quiet, and finding the balance between those things. And there's some conversations which are the everyday kind of conversations about, what's happening, what we might need to do, what are we going to have to eat, when are we going to go out for our walk, that kind of everyday conversation, which sometimes can take up a lot of time.
Yeah.
But then thinking about what are the really intentional conversations that we need to have about our relationship and about how things are going for us as a couple, or if you have a family at home, you as a family as well.
And about us as individuals. And what can be really helpful is doing these conversations in a different physical space.
Yes.
Going for a walk.
Yeah.
Lying in bed in the morning if there's no rush to get up, and just allow the words to come out.
Yeah, because I'm aware that you and I have different conversations in different spaces around the house. And the kind of conversation that we might have over dinner feels quite different from the kind of conversation we might have when we're out on our walk, or when we're lying in bed in the morning after we've woken up.
Yeah.
Which made me really think about how you use the physical space around the house.
Yeah, creating some variety and doing things in a different way can really help. And one question which a lot of people actually find quite awkward and difficult is, what would you like to do this evening?
Yes. And when you ask me that, sometimes I'm quite happy to respond, and other times I'm like, I really don't want to have to think about what I want to do.
Yeah.
I just want to be, or sit, or not talk at all.
Yeah. And with a couple, quite often they're trying to second guess, well, he's asked me what I'd like to do. I wonder what he'd like to do. Therefore, I'm going to construct an answer which is my mind read of what he wants to do, which can get very awkward.
It can. And I was also reading something on, I think it was on LinkedIn, where somebody said, is it better to ignore some of these important conversations and suffer in silence because of the consequences of opening up a topic which might be quite difficult, at a time when you're limited with how much space you can have to get away from each other after a difficult conversation has taken place?
Which is a very good question. I mean, my thoughts are these things can just build up and fester, and the answer can actually be a lot better than expected if the conversation is handled in a very sensitive way, if you avoid blaming the other person and just expressing your own feelings. That will help your partner to understand you and your needs much better. And
we did a video a couple of weeks ago about the State of the Union, and you might remember the sink incident, which I do have to say, since we made that video, the transformation has been quite incredible. And the sink is beautiful now in the evenings. So if you want to get some tips about how to have some of those conversations, which you may find quite tricky, then go back to our video on State of the Union.
Okay. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you very soon, and have a safe and smiling rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.